Hello everyone! I would like to show you one game from the last season of International Championship, and this game is very special for me because I was in a good spot to win the whole championship if I will be able to win this one game. So let's see if I was able to win it and how it went. So let me introduce at start my opponents. On the first seat there is Veivi from Finland. Second position, that's me, Pajada from Czechia. On the third position we can see Silent X111, who is a Chinese player but he wants to represent United States. And on the fourth slot we have Wawrzyniec, who is like from Poland. So let's look also on a mix of leaders and wonders. I like to start from a bottom. So on a bottom we can see that there is Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein and Sid Meier, who likes computers. Then we have two leaders, which are also Marie Curie is also good with computers. So four leaders who likes computers. Then we have Jan Fleming and Albert Einstein, who are good with multimedia. And then we have Marlene Dietrich, which is good with operas or movies. Yeah, so there is like no international Red Cross, so no need to have plenty of food for the last turn. You can see that there is a nice synergy with James Cook, Suez Canal. Also the transition from Johann Sebastian Bach to Marlene Dietrich is possible. And from military perspective there are few leaders who gives military actions, but yeah, no Napoleon. So let's see if this game will end military or not. So at the starting position Veivi took Engineering Genius, which is the best card which he can take from this row. And I was thinking if I would like to take one of the leaders, but if you look correctly there is already 5 leaders in a row, so it will be much better to get pyramids, because one of these leaders will be there for me and I will be very happy with that. So I took the pyramids in my turn, and let's see what my opponents did. So Silent will take Confucius and yellow card, okay, and Wawrzyniec will probably take Roman Roads or Hammurabi and white card. Let's see, okay, Hammurabi and white card. Okay, so let's see which leader will be there for me. Okay, so the best one, Alexander the Great, is to buy Veivi, but this will leave me with option to go for Sun Tzu and try to play militarily from a second position, or go for a Cleopatra, which is one of my most favorite leaders from HA, because it allows you to stay just on 2 populations on bronzes, like give you the third bronze, and then you can produce more food because you don't increase your population that many times. And with 3-step wonder I can like even now say, okay, without any help from developments I will finish my pyramids in 2 turns, or I can say maybe I will play slowly and I will improve my science production from the first turn, and that was what I did in this game. So I built immediately the second lab, and let's see what my opponents will do. So Silent elect Confucius, so we know that he will be probably seeding every turn, so there will be plenty of resources. That's another good thing to have like Cleopatra with just 2 bronzes, because there will be some resources from development cards, so I don't need to produce that much resources, because I should be able to get some from developments. Okay. And yeah, in this turn I will start building the pyramid, so then I'm able to finish them, because the next turn I will again has like 3 rocks. And the other thing which I would like to do with Cleopatra is increase population and then somehow take a good card for 2 CAs, or take frugality and alchemy for 1 CA. Because another option is just like to pop twice, but then I will be producing just 1 food, and then probably take the alchemy, which is also an option. But I at the end decided that I would like to still be producing 2 food and take the 2 yellow cards. I not very often goes for alchemy early, because I'm known for building my civilization with just not enough science and taking the yellow cards which produce science, etc. But I saw Gutenberg here at the end of the line. I think that no one else will be like interested in the Gutenberg, so maybe then I can take the Gutenberg and then I can use my extra actions and also get some discounts for building the alchemies. So the long-term plan was, let's play this game differently, let's have plenty of science and see how it can go. So let's see if I will do it and what my opponents do. Yeah, so Silent needs to get 1 science by seeding, so he seeded no resources for me, but at least 3 religion. Wawrzyniec was lucky to get event with just drawing 1 card and also start building his civilization. He's very nicely prepared for also plenty of civil actions. He has extra 1 with Hammurabi, he will get another 1 with Forbidden City. He also grabbed the monarchy, which he will probably go for in the next rounds via revolution, because he will then have still 1 civil action which he can use with Hammurabi and maybe get out of the corruption. So I expect him to do first the monarchy and then later finish the Forbidden City. Veivi seeded, that's interesting, because he can get like extra yellow for the Alexander, but he can get also like extra yellow from the Roman roads. So he just probably think, okay, I will stay stronger now, maybe if everyone will see it, I will be nicely prepared for the first shuffle of event cards. Being stronger with Alexander the Great is not that hard, so he seeded. He finishes his wonder and then okay, go for 1 more population and reveal the tactic. So as I said, the Johannes Gutenberg is there for me, and also I can build 3 religion, which I will probably do. And I drew also some nice cards with the development of politics. I think, yeah, will I seed this round? I don't know. Let's see what I did. Yeah, so I seeded the scientific breakthrough. It makes a lot of sense, because my science production should be better than my opponents. And I finish the pyramids, build a religion, and then probably I will take Johannes Gutenberg, increase my population, and yeah, maybe increase my population twice. So I will use all my actions. And I think I did small mistake here, that I didn't elect Johannes Gutenberg, because I was thinking like, okay, I can take the 1 extra rock from Cleopatra the next round to get a discount on alchemy. Yeah, my rock production is really poor, but what I didn't think about was that if I elect Johannes Gutenberg this round, I can also develop the alchemy and save one civil action and one science, and still has like one rock from Johannes Gutenberg for the next round. So if you just count everything together, you will see that I said this round that one rock from Cleopatra is more than one science for the discount plus one civil actions, and yeah, this equation is really wrong. One rock is not that helpful as one civil action plus one science, so that was definitely a mistake. Yeah, I don't plan to do aggressions in the near future, although these two other cards which will give bonus to the strongest civilizations are not great, so the discard is quite easy for me. So I will just keep the knowledge of ancient and good harvest. Oh, and I draw a nice colony, so let's see if there will be some follow-up. I think there is no Columbus, so I cannot hack it this way. Maybe I can wait for Suez Canal, because waste 1 is great even with the Suez Canal. But let's see what my opponents will do. Yeah, it's also worth noting that we are getting closer to shuffle the event deck for the first time, so then maybe I will need to build my military. So let's see if my opponents will build military also or not. So Silent finishes the Acropolis, and yeah, he takes some yellow cards to be prepared for some military push. Okay, so Wawrzyniec didn't come for the monarchy, but he will probably somehow prepare it for the next round, I would say. Okay. So he increases his production of rocks, has very nice balanced civilization. Yeah, Veivi went for Joan of Arc. I think that he didn't get the free religion that he needed to build. Yes, he needed to build one, so he was unable to get the free religion from the development earlier, but it still produces extra power for him with Joan d'Arc, so it is nice for him. Okay, so here I decided to seed knowledge of the ancient. I already know that there is a breakthrough, so yeah, we all will be probably like floating in science, so maybe warfare is like worth of developing. Also the cartographic code of law are there. So I think that here I have the option to somehow like start building the military, but without enough rock production, I decided to use my science to protect me a little bit, and I will go for a warfare, which will enable me to defend much easier, and also I don't have like enough rocks to do the alchemy plus upgrading. So at the end, yeah, that was definitely a mistake, that I will not use the Cleopatra's bonus plus one rock and just rebuild a military to be the strongest. So I'm like well prepared for the military push or military cards which can be in this deck. Yeah, I know that two cards are fine. One of them is knowledge of the ancients, the other one is scientific breakthrough, so I will get a plenty of science. Then maybe I can go for some additional blue technologies. But I still like in Grandmaster games to not stay behind and try not to be the weakest. Yeah, it's also interesting that I always thought that reserves 1 are really bad card because it gives you just 2 resources for 2 civil actions. But very often in Grandmaster games, this card is really worth it because you play very aggressively, you don't have anything else to do, so even like the ratio of 2 civil actions for 2 rocks or 2 food is very good. And yeah, also the reserves are very versatile, so you can use them for food or for rocks how you need it. So yeah, I was feeling quite good in these situations. I still don't have like many rock production, but I have the +1 rock which I can use from Gutenberg, so I can very easily upgrade to alchemies. And there are still 2 irons in a deck, and the first one, which was very soon, was taken by Wawrzyniec, and the other 2 are not there. But yeah, the other players also doesn't have the best rock production. Yeah, you can see that I'm not that behind. I have like +3 and some of them has +4, so I can definitely take some extra yellow cards to have like the similar production as them, because I'm virtually on 5 military or on 6 civil actions because of Gutenberg. So Silent will probably seed, yes, because he wants the extra science, yeah, and he will also lose some science. I was lucky to not lose anything, so it was quite good decision to just spend these 5 + 3, 8 science in my turn, then staying just at 3, so I dodge this dark ages. So Silence will also go for a military, and yeah, so he is also at 4, so he's not the weakest, and he's nicely prepared for the reveal of extra cards. And Wawrzyniec will go for the revolution, and he is even able to not have a corruption, so yeah, very nicely prepared for him, but he will be the weakest, so let's see what's on the top. Veivi will know that because he has Joan of Arc, so if he will see it, he will definitely think that he's safe. Yeah, I was not willing to bid that much for the developed territory because I don't have the rocks. That's the issue with my civilization. So even when this colony is quite good, I was okay with just investing 2 rocks with 1 warrior for that, and that wasn't enough. So you can see that, yeah, the yellows are prepared here, and I seeded the waste 1 because now when I'm like guaranteed to have the cartography, it may be easier for me to get this card. So I seeded the waste 1, and let's see what I revealed. And I revealed another extra science. So we know that Silent seeded like 3 cards. Another 2 cards from this deck is Scientific Breakthrough and Knowledge of Ancients, so I will get plenty of science. So I will start with improving the philosophy to alchemy to get more science if Scientific Breakthrough is revealed. And then the question is if I would like to go for a Swordman and improve my strength, or if I will go for the cartography immediately. But I know that the waste is just in the other deck. Also, another good yellow colony was already revealed, the developed territory. So I don't feel the pressure of to going for the cartography just now. So this turn I will go for a Swordman. The next turn I could have around at least like 6 science, because I think people will see it and the Scientific Breakthrough will be open, so I can then go for the Code of Law or cartography, which will be more needed. So I will probably just grab plenty of yellow cards, play reserves for rocks, and improve my strength. And I can also copy the tactic. Okay, so no, I did something else, yeah. I probably decided that, yeah, my rock production is very poor and I will need this rich land for 2 civil actions as well, so this really bad ratio as the reserves 1, just I will get 2 rocks for 2 civil actions. There are still 2 irons in a deck, and for now just Wawrzyniec has it. I will shift the deck just by 4 cards, so if there will be iron revealed, it will be in a free civil action area, which should be quite hard for Silent to grab it, and because I'm playing like before silent, I should be able to get one of these two remaining irons from the deck. Yeah, so you can see that I'm not good at guessing my moves, which I did a few weeks ago. So my card knowledge of the ancients is revealed. We get plenty of science. Wawrzyniec just got a rock, so he's the worst from this card. And silent is able to go for Jan Žižka. Yeah, so we all of us has a new leader. Only Wawrzyniec didn't have a new leader, and I think there are just these two, last two, Nostradamus and Eleanor, are remaining. I totally think that Wawrzyniec will go for the Nostradamus because it is very strong leader, and I think he's much stronger if there is like more players, because then you know more hidden information from the future event deck. And we also should keep in mind that all our future cards will be known by Wawrzyniec. So at least he doesn't know about the waste one, which we seeded, but he will know about the other cards, which we can seed. So let's continue. Yeah, Wawrzyniec is going for Nostradamus, finishing his wonder, taking another wonder. Yeah, I'm not big fan of Taj Mahal. I'm calling it like the losing wonder. But this is not like the first time when Wawrzyniec showed me that these wonders are quite okay, and I think like every wonder is good because the wonders can't be easily destroyed. They are like the sinks for the rocks you have, and being able to generate some culture is not that important yearly, but H1 is ending, and yeah, it may be good. Yeah, I'm also curious if he was like considering taking this St. Peter's Basilica, because it can be also quite good for him, but he probably thought that the happy face is not that important for him when he already has the Forbidden City, which is like giving him extra 2 happy faces. Not exactly happy faces, but yeah, ignoring the unhappy workers. And he will then probably grab some yellows and technologies. Okay, so we are shortly moving to H2, but Veivi will go for a strong military push and grab the St. Peter's Basilica, which is like nice combo with Joan of Arc. Then he will get extra +1 strength when he will finish it. Okay, so now I decided to seed culture influence. I think that the culture influence is just almost like neutral card. It just gives some culture to everyone. It really doesn't matter if it is like +1 or +6. It's still very small difference, because usually the 4-player game ends with cultures around, I don't know, 200 or even like 300. So the change of like 5 culture is not very important. So it's just like some card in a future event deck which will not do much. And I revealed the scientific breakthrough, which is good for me because then I will be able to go for some nice technologies. Yeah, so I of course develop the cartography because I know that the waste one is waiting for me. And now the question is if I should go for the code of law to have like more civil actions, to be able to grab another yellow cards, which I definitely need because still, as you can see, my rock production is very low. Or if I will go for swordman and being again like stronger and also like being able to defend, because as you can see now, I cannot defend from like aggression from Veivi. I can pretend that I can defend with 2 defense cards, but yeah, I would like to play it safer, and I will definitely go for swordsman. Also for some extra rocks with my reserves, and also grab some yellow cards because I need. Yeah, and now we can think what the iron and silent, because Veivi doesn't have iron and silent doesn't have iron and I don't have iron. So this iron will stay in 2CA area, and it will be like follow up with another iron. And yeah, the question is if Silent can go for the iron, and as you can see, I don't think so. I think he will also try to be able to defend from potential aggression from Veivi, so he will probably like pop twice and build 2 warriors, which will deplete all his rock production, so he will not be interested in that iron. He will probably like go for the Code of Law to have more science. And with taking cards this way, I will leave the Code of Law on 2CA area. So that's all what he should be able to do. So let's see if he really will go for the Code of Laws and not the iron. Or he nicely get extra population with 2 happy faces, good for him. And yeah, he will go for the Code of Law and also has possibility to grab the culture heritage to have even more science in the next rounds. Wawrzyniec is the weakest, even with the bonus for Nostradamus, so he decided to not seed and build knights and complete his army. He will also take the yellow cards. Yeah, this is funny thing also in Grandmaster games, that everyone is taking the yellow cards, so just very often just technologies are on a row. So yeah, you can see that we have a lot of yellow cards. And he will go for alchemy as well. So yeah, he cannot go for iron because he already has it. So will Veivi go for iron here? No, he seeded. Silent is the weakest, luckily for me, because I will be the second weakest. He know that this card will be revealed because he has Joan of Arc. And he will not go for the iron, and he will grab the coal to have even bigger production, which is probably the right decision, because yeah, coal is better than iron in a late game because it will allow him to go up to like 9 rock productions. With iron he will be just like +6, and when he doesn't have a corruption he can easily go for this, and he will probably just develop the coal to be prepared to be upgrading to it in the next round. Yeah, that's exactly what he did. Yeah, so let's stop and see what I will do. Yeah, so an interesting thing is that I have still reds in my hand, and when I will seed it, I know that Wawrzyniec will also know that the reds are there. And the other thing which I can see is good harvest, but it's not that great because Silent is producing a lot of food. And I know that in the deck there is like waste 1, which will be very nice if it will be revealed in my turn, because it will give me just something like +1, because I will won the ties, so I will definitely seed and hope for the waste. But the waste wasn't there, but it leaves the iron there, and there was like interesting decision if I would like to take this iron and keep the other iron for Silent, or just normally deny him the iron and go for this one. But the situation is that I was thinking, okay, Silent likes iron, he will definitely take it, but I don't think he will have a lot of time to go for the iron. He doesn't have very high science, it will not help him that much. So at the end I decided that I'm fine with keeping the iron for Silent. And the big decision for me was what to do with my last action, because I definitely won't go for the iron and 2 upgrades. That's another 3 civil actions, and then I can take journalism because I have a discount from Gutenberg, or take masonry, which is like the only one blue tech which I'm missing, and it will be very nice to have like all 4 of them from H1. And that's probably another mistake which I made this game, that at the end I went for journalism and didn't take the masonry. I was thinking, okay, I already had the alchemies, so when I will be maybe in the future upgrading the alchemies to something else, I will not get the discount, so maybe just the drama will be cheaper. I will be able to finish wonders in less turns, but yeah, still my rock production is not that great, so I didn't expect myself of being like building some big buildings. So I don't know if it was a mistake or not, but we will see. Yeah, so as I said, I went for 2 iron upgrades and then grabbed the journalism. Yeah, I would love to have cannons, but yeah, I didn't have enough civil actions for that. Yeah, so Silent took the iron. He was also interested in cannon, so he probably has some nice tactic, or he just thought that yeah, cannons are essential for 4-player game, which I would agree. It's always not great to be the only one player without cannons. And Wawrzyniec seeded and revealed the Waste Territory 1, which he didn't know about. And yeah, I was willing to bid just 1 unit because I was afraid of aggression from Veivi. I don't know if I should like bid more, but still my rock production is not that great. So yeah, the main problem was probably like the rock production, and even if Veivi will then be able to plunder me, yeah, the game will be just pretty much over for me. So I was willing to just invest 1 swordman and then probably get an aggression from Veivi, but yeah, I was willing to take this risk. But Wawrzyniec was willing to bid his whole army with total strength of 8, if I'm not mistaken, 3 tactic plus 4 unit 7. So yeah, I was not anywhere close to win the colony. And Wawrzyniec has enough rocks, so he will rebuild his Ankre with help of reserves, and then also take drama and masonry, so he may be prepared for, I don't know, the Bach, or yeah, probably Bach. That's the strong. I also has the drama, so I'm also nicely prepared for drama. Yeah, I would love to rebuild this religion. Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Veivi seeded again, and let's see what he will reveal. And it's wealthy territory, and I was able to win the wealthy with just 1 warrior, which is very nice for me because I was missing the rocks. I have enough population, so it's very nice colony for me. And Veivi is going for Robespierre and some yellow cards, and he starts building his wonder, and it's also like start improving nicely his production of rocks. Okay, so in my turn, yeah, last turn I drew Classic Army, which is very nice tactic in 4-player games. We can see that yeah, Veivi can nicely prepare for that as well, but he doesn't have the swordsman or rifleman. Silent also doesn't have swordsman or rifleman, and Wawrzyniec also doesn't have swordsman or rifleman. So at least one of these players will not be able to fulfill the tactics. If I will be able to grab cavalry, which I should be able, because all my opponents has knights, so yeah, 1 cavalry should be there for me. So keep in mind that we have the classic army and that 1 player will not be able to copy our tactic early, at least in H3. Yeah, and as you can see now we have plenty of rocks, but because we don't have knights, we are getting a little bit behind in the military. So in this card draw I was interested in the transcontinental railroad. It will also enable me to stay just with 2 population in mining industry, which I learned from 1 great player, Takusto, who is like known for never building the 3rd bronze and then just upgrade to 2 irons and do everything in the world to not have 3 people in iron. So yeah, I just think that this is very nice preparation with just going for one warrior to rebuild and start building the wonder, I fulfill the tactic, so I'm not the weakest. Silent is weaker than me, and with 9 rocks next turn I should be able to finish the railroad, jump with the strength to 14 and be fine with all the nasty strength events which should be revealed. So Silent will grab the strategy. So he's not the weakest, and now I'm the weakest. So let's see if there are some bad events or not. I think still we know that the reds are in the deck. I'm not sure. I think they are like here, yeah, that they are not in these 2 cards, but they are like still reds, and yeah. And Wawrzyniec know about them, so he's not in a rush to build the selective breeding. Okay, we will all lose the population. Veivi is able now to go for a very cheap Republic, which is probably very appreciated for them. He will take another yellow cards, Architecture, Opera, and build population. Yeah, so he's also in very good shape. He has good rock production. He is prepared to fix his happy face issues. He doesn't have a food, but there are like still 2 selective breedings in a deck, so he should be able to get one of these because Silent is on irrigation, so he will not have many interests with 3 irrigations to hate draft selective breeding. And yeah, he also needs to somehow fix his science. Yeah. So what can we do? Yeah, we will definitely finish the Transcontinental Railroad to up our strength and increase our production to 6. So just now in, I don't know, round 10, yeah, in round 10 we are not like able to have okay rock production, not great, but at least something. And yeah, we can probably take the scientific method here and use Johannes Gutenberg even more times. The other thing which we can go for James Cook, but with this tactic I'm also very interested in the cavalrymen, and as you can see there are 2 of them, so I take a little bit of risk here and said, okay, I think one of these 2 cavalrymen will wait for me because I also need the selective breeding, and because I know that the reds can come, I will probably use my last action to just increase my population, and I did it even without the frugality. So yeah, this is probably a very strong signal for my opponents. Reds are coming, guys. Yeah, so Silent finally, few turns later, then he grabbed the iron, goes for 1 upgrade of iron. Then he took the Alfred Noble because his sign production is also not very great, so Veivi will need to find different solution, but he has plenty of rocks, so he's just waiting for journalism or the second scientific method, because I took away one of them, and journalism is here, so he will not get it. So there is just 1 card which can give you science. Veivi, will you have it or not? We will see. And Silent, yeah, so Island will elect Alfred Nobel and increase population, copy tactic. Wawrzyniec is seeding, and yeah, there is rebellion, so my play with going around the reds has the disadvantage that now I lose two civil actions, so that's not that great for me. So maybe it wasn't that great play from me, but yeah, I didn't know that rebellion will come. So I expect that Wawrzyniec will not go for selective breeding yet, even if he has enough signs for that, and he will just improve his strength and start building. the Taj Mahal, and he was also lucky to get the Johann Sebastian Bach, which I would also happily grab, because the number of leaders which are in the deck is very, very low now. There is just Catherine, and James Cook will probably not be there for me, because yeah, he will be discarded in Veivi's turn. So yeah, the only leader which I can go for now is the Catherine, and Bach will be for Wawrzyniec. Yeah, and you can see that cavalrymen are still there, so I was happy to see that I will get the cavalry technology. So my classic army is an option for H3 to have like strong military, and Veivi was in need of the science, so he went for the third philosophy, and he will still probably, hopefully, would like to get the scientific method and has higher science production. Yeah, he's also like still missing the selective breeding. I have one, Wawrzyniec has one, Silent probably is fine with his free irrigations, but yeah, there is no selective breeding yet. I will probably see it, because if I will reveal the reds, then I can start building my population, but there wasn't reds, so I know that there are like still reds on the top, so I even can't now go for selective breeding, so I just went for the scientific method with some discount. Also, I need some hand space to be able to take a lot of philo cards, so I developed drama as well, and I took just a lot of yellow cards to have some more options in future rounds, because yeah, I'm still on despotism, but nicely I have 6 civil actions, so it's just like constitutional monarchy. I don't have now enough science, because I went for all these blue tech, I went for alchemy and also for scientific method. So my plan now is just to get a lot of rocks and prepare for the next round, when I will go for selective breeding. I will have exactly 5 science, which I need for that, and then I will be producing everything except the culture, which is a very fine place to be at the end of H2, and I will have this drama technology to get some much needed culture in H3. So I really like my position. I have the classic army, I have technology for it. I'm just waiting when the reds will be opened, and then I will have very, very nicely balanced civilization. So let's see what Silent will do. And he finally revealed the reds. Yeah, he loses the most food, but with 3 irrigations and just consumption of 2, it was just like waiting on the loss of the food. There was like no way around it, even when he probably know that the reds are coming because of my last play when I keep the frugality in hand. Yeah, and another colony is revealed. I didn't see that, and I was fine with just like getting it for just 1 warrior, because yeah, I will need the second happy phase because I may lose another 2 population, so I can just rebuild the warrior which I sent there, and having like more population with strong food production can give me some more yellows in the future, which should be handy. Yeah. So historic is not that great territory, but with all these cards, I was also thinking, okay, I have autonomous, I know that the Suez is still in the deck, so just getting some colonies for cheap can open the Suez for me. Going for autonomous, then I can probably save some science, not going for the government form. I also have journalism plus drama, so the urban limit 2 may not be that bad for me. So I saw some options and was thinking, okay, yeah, let's get that historic territory. So Wawrzyniec develop the drama, so if the end ages he will not get rid of this card, and Veivi seeded, and I will not be drawing any cards, but this is like in H2, so it's not that bad, and I have 2 colonies in hand and plenty of defense cards, so I'm fine. I also have the classic army. So the only disadvantage is that I will not have enough hand space, and I will need to make some decisions which cards I want to keep and which not. Yeah, and Veivi also start his food production, so you can see that his civilization is also very nice balanced. He has now cannons plus knights, so this may not be very optimal for him, because the riflemen were taken by Silent and Wawrzyniec, so he will be the player who will not be able to copy the classic army of myself, so he can be the target. He is also just on a republic, so when he will get rid of Robespierre, he will not have like many military actions to defend, so that's probably his weak point. Yeah, and here I seeded another colony because I would like to get all the colonies as possible, and also the Suez Canal, and we can look that probably Silent also has some nice colony in hand, but he will have just 10 rocks in this round and next round, and going for Suez will cost him 3 actions plus 4 to build, because he doesn't have architecture or anything, and it will also take a while until he has it, so he will probably not be interested in that Suez Canal. And with drawing a lot of colonies, I was thinking that Wawrzyniec also maybe will not be interested in that. Yeah, and so I definitely don't have like enough civil actions to take the Suez Canal here, but maybe I will be able to take it much cheaper next round, so let's see. Yeah, I will lose some culture, but it's not that important. And here I can go for the Catherine. She's just like for 2 civil actions, so she's not that pricey. And if I will wait for her in the next round, I will just save 1 civil actions, because I will lose Gutenberg. So I did what I planned last turn, so I will go probably for the selective breeding, some upgrades, and elect the Catherine. Yeah, so I upgrade, go for Catherine, and upgrade another scientific method. So next turn I'm able to go for the cavalry with this +6, with +5 food and -2 yellow. Yeah, I can go then with frugality for 2 more populations. With one will be unhappy, but the other will be happy. So in case of need, I can go for 2 cavalrymen, reveal the tactic, and has really big strength. And I have to get rid of one of the card. And the question is if I will reveal the tactic or not. The price is to get rid of one boat, which is good price. But because I will not end the age, and there is like possibility that somehow Silent will not go for the knights, because he need to go for the culture heritage plus the knights, so I at the end decided to not reveal the tactic and just discard one boat. And Silent reveals nice colony, but I knew that in the next deck there is like the Vase 2, which I seeded, and I wasn't that very interested in Historic 2, so I was willing to just do some like false bid. That my plan was like, okay, so who would like to get this colony, let's have them pay a little bit, but just pretend that I don't have any defense card, keep them for the waste one, which is much better, because the waste, if I will get the waste, I will have plenty of yellows, I will not need the happy faces, I also will probably in the future build some dramas, and I have already the historic one. So I was not willing to bid that much, and yeah, I think that the plan went well, as Silent used 2 defense cards, and yeah, I know about another 3 of them, so there are like only two defense cards can be in hands of my opponents, so the future colonies should be quite cheap unless they will draw the defense 3 cards from the future deck, which will come in Wawrzyniec turn. Yeah, and this looks like that Silent didn't went for the knights, so now I definitely can reveal my tactic, and the only one who will be able to use it is Wawrzyniec, but Silent will not be able to use it. Maybe he has defense army, maybe not. And Veivi will also not be able to go for classic army that easily. And we have finally h3 now. So Wawrzyniec gets some nice pact, and he also increases his food production and grab a yellow card, so he has enough science for future. And he also rebuilt, I think, one religion to drama, so he has nice culture production, and yeah, I think he will without problems catch Silent. I'm a little bit behind, like 30 culture behind Silent, just something like now 8 behind Wawrzyniec, but the distance will be probably a little bit bigger because I will not be able to go for 8 culture production that easily. So yeah, Wawrzyniec civilization also looks quite nice. He will get some extra population, he's able to copy my classic army, and he has the conquistadors on his own. So he's also in pretty good shape. And yeah, Suez is there still for me, so let's hope that Veivi will not take the Suez Canal. So Veivi improve his food production, and I think that maybe he was like interested in Suez Canal, maybe not, but when he saw that there are like the air forces, that's very important card for him as well, because as I said earlier, he has just 3 military actions and he can very easily be a target of wars, so having the air forces is very important for him, and I was very happy to see that Suez Canal is there for me. Yeah, in my turn I decided to use the ability of Catherine, which will just take 1 yellow from Veivi, because yeah, I don't want to seed the only colony with preparation of Suez. And I was thinking that there is still the waste, so I will probably not be stronger than my opponents, and in h3 I don't want to miss political action that often, because I prefer like seeding or being able like to do other things. So I just said, okay, yeah, I will just take a yellow from Veivi, not get anything else from that, but that's the probably only good use of Catherine in future rounds. Yeah, I don't have 11 rocks, so I will not build Suez now, but I can grab the architecture to make it quicker for me, because yeah, I'm still on despotism. It's very nice despotism, and it will be much even better despotism with nice 7 civil actions and 5 military actions. And I also developed the cavalryman, so I'm then prepared for going for nice army. And now you will witness very beautiful sequence. Yeah, so Silent seeded, and you can see that I have plenty of colonization cards in my hand. So when I saw strategic territory, I was so, ooh, I have to have this one. I don't know how much I bid, but probably like all my defense cards. So it was something like 7 plus 4, so 11, and then I won is just for 6, so it was quite cheap. And let's see what I drew. And as you can see, I drew another 3 defense cards, so I now have in total 4 defense cards from H3. So there is just like 3 left for my opponents, and I also drew plenty of these +2 defense cards, and because Silent won the Historic 2, I know that there are just like 2 of them. So in this point of game, I knew that my opponent doesn't have many defense cards, and yeah, it will be quite easy for me to get any future colonies. I still have the waste 2 there, so I was expecting some nice colonies, yeah. So Silent just upgraded his production, he took the tanks, so this is like his signature play that he really likes to have all the military technologies of level 2 or higher. So he is able to go for any H3 tactic. Now he will just need to draw one of these tactics, and then he will be able to go for a very strong military push. Yeah, he often plays this way, so he has all the technologies available. He's not valuing knights or swordsmen that highly because they cannot be used in H3 technologies. So he's nicely prepared here for any tactic. And Wawrzyniec will also seed, and there is another colony. Yeah, I think that I also was able to beat something like 14 for that, but knowing that my opponent doesn't have enough defense cards, I was very sure that I will win it. And I still know that there is like a waste too, because that's my colony which I seeded. Yeah, we can see that Wawrzyniec takes some yellow cards. He also get the military theory and cannon. So he's also like preparing to just maybe build more dramas. Has very nice signed production because each drama is +3, so he can get for something like +14, and then he has very nice setup to defend himself, this culture lead and culture push. He will have 49 at the end of this round. Then if next round he will go for like extra drama or extra 2 dramas, he will catch up Silent very nicely. He has now good cards to defend. So yeah, these 2 guys are also in very good shape. And Veivi, yeah, he also has very nice production. He has the air forces, so this game is still very much open. Yeah, I get some colonies, but I get them in H3, and yeah, the question now is if I will be like able to somehow like rebuild or prolong the game, because if the game will be longer, I should also like rebuild my whole civilization, and then I can get some extra bonus from all the extra yellows which I have, and with Suez Canal with plenty of colonies. But if my opponents will take that many cards from a card draw and the game will not be long enough, I may struggle in catching up with them with culture. So let's see. And we will see it as well, and yeah, my waste colony is revealed. Yeah, I was now thinking if I really need another colony, but when I look at position of my opponents, I saw that the waste 2 will be very helpful for them as well. So yeah, I decided just to go for the waste territory as well, because then I can in my turn finish Suez Canal and go for 2 more units. Yeah, so Veivi now decided to go for air forces to be the strongest. So and this was this taking of Empire State Building. Yeah, I wasn't like sure why he's doing that, because this is very hard wonder to get some advantage of, and he's now like maybe in a good shape to score I don't know what. Maybe I think that he will not be the strongest in a rock production. I think when I finish my Suez, I will be higher than him, so it will not be easy for him to win this category as well. For culture, he probably can't compete with Bach. So yeah, I didn't know how he was planning to utilize Empire State Building, but yeah, let's see. The other play, which was probably possible, was going for scientific method and increase his science production, and I would probably like that option more, but he decided that he will go for the strength. Maybe he knows what he seeded and that there are some nice strength events. Yeah, I don't know. In my turn, I will not seed because yeah, I just won 3 colonies in last 3 rounds of my opponent, and now I have the possibility to go for a Grand Slam, putting 4 colonies in play in 4 consecutive rounds. Yeah, the one will be via Suez and not via seeding, but it will be still nice to just have colony in every turn. Yeah, I took rocks from autonomous to be able to go for 2 knights to have enough strength, and I was happily also like take air forces and still being able to maybe go for that classic army. I also drew hybrid war from that strategic 2, so I have some options now opened. Yeah, I can go for peaceful game, maybe build 2 journalisms, but at end of this round I will have just 44 culture. Yeah, I'm getting 2 culture from Catherine, so yeah, I still don't increase my culture production. So will I be on time? Will there be enough impacts? Because yeah, I think that in impacts my civilization can also excel very well. Yeah, maybe I don't have nice government, but I still have enough civil actions. I will build more buildings, so yeah, my civilization will be very balanced, but I don't know if I will be on time. Yeah, there's not enough time. Yeah, let's see also what I misclick now, and we will not see what I drew, but I will go back so we can see what cards I drew. So I get irrelevant tactic, armored intervention, and 1 impact, so that's good information for me. Silent reveal national pride, which he won. Then he goes for organized religion, so he will be able to put more people in the military probably. Yeah, and he will grab few more yellow cards. As I said, in Grandmaster's divisions, everyone just taking all the yellow cards, having some extra rocks is always very helpful. Wawrzyniec reveals international negotiations, and he will give science to Veivi. Oh, something else, probably food, we can see. Oh, he gets science to Veivi, and then still be able to go for cannons. He will build 2 extra dramas, so as you can see his culture production is very good, and he's catching up silent pretty closely, and now I'm losing to him something like 21 culture, and this will increase by 10 every round. So yeah, maybe I can catch a little bit with impacts. Maybe I can, with this rock production, I can build a one wonder for plus 20, but yeah, he's running away. It will be quite hard to catch him. Veivi seeds, we get freedom of movement, which is not that nice for me because I still don't have much buildings. Yeah, I can maybe now do the 1 Bach transition from religion to drama, but I was also hoping for maybe, I don't know, getting the journalisms from scientific methods, who knows. And Veivi will build another air force, go for Maria Curie Sklodowska, and also increase his culture production with operas, with cheap operas, with architecture, and he will grab computers, which are great with Maria Curie Sklodowska. So maybe at the end he will be able to get something from that Empire State Building. I think for the food production we all of us produce 6, so yeah, just 1 extra yellow here, and he will get at least 1 part of the wonder. But I think the wonder is great, at least when you excel in 3 categories. He's now the strongest, but with me going for classic army, it may not be easy for him to be the strongest. With culture he's still behind the Bach. With work production he cannot compete with Suez Canal with 6 colonies. Yeah, so let's see how much he will squeeze the Empire State Building. And we are coming closer to the end of the game, and I will maybe go for some deeper analysis of my turns now. So here I decided to seed impact of balance, because the only thing which I'm not producing is culture, and I will definitely produce some culture, and then I should be able to get something like plus 12 from impact of balance. And all my competitors has some disadvantages somewhere, maybe not Veivi but the others, so he will get less from that, so it's nice impact for me. And in this turn the decision also was if I will go for a war or if I will go just for a culture path, because yeah, I also have architecture, so now here I can go for just like 2 journalisms, upgrade my culture production to +7, has also some nice science production, so then maybe I can go for democracy or something. But when I counted it, it looks like that it may not be enough. It may be too late to start to producing culture now. I will be still producing less culture than Wawrzyniec. So I decided that with the hybrid war and the classic army, I will go for like 2 classic armies, and with this rock production I will just try to build them in upcoming rounds and then go for a war. Yeah, international agreement is revealed for Veivi, but I think that his hand is full, so he can take just one yellow, take just one card from the card row, so I was expecting him not accepting the offer. Yeah, and here I also start not taking any cards from the card row to prolong the game, so I was very happy to see that I can take United Nations from the depletion area. And I also counted that if I go for impact of science revealed with this wonder, I will immediately get 31 culture, more than Wawrzyniec, because I think he's producing the same science as Silent, but he's later in the player order. So if I will reveal the impact in my turn, I will get 31 culture on him. So it's like something, I'm still like on the same level as him. I'm like on 80, he's on 80. So I was like feeling okay. So my plan will probably be to go to build this wonder, so then there will be no loss for me, and I will hopefully win on impacts against Wawrzyniec. Yeah, and I start preparing to go for the classic armies, still not revealing the tactic, because the target of my aggressions will probably be Wawrzyniec or Veivi. It depends if how will Veivi play. Yeah, so as you can see, Silent is now prepared for probably like modern army. I don't know if he drew it or not. Yeah, but he's very, very nice military setup as well. Yeah, Wawrzyniec now fulfill his 3 dramas, so he's just putting more people in military, and he reveals very nice tactic for him. And this tactic can also be copied by Silent, because just 1 unit of him is not used with that. And I think there is still Marlene. Yeah, Marlene in a deck, so it's very strong military leader. So I think that me, Silent, and also Wawrzyniec would be very happy with Marlene, because it will help us with the strength. So let's see who will get it. Yeah, so I was thinking, okay, my military push will be enough, but now as you can see, Wawrzyniec has 18 rocks, so he can almost build 2 more, the second army next round. I will definitely not declare war now. It will not be enough. So yeah, he will be able to have like 2 positional armies for defense. He doesn't have enough signs, so maybe and he also doesn't have the air forces, just me and Veivi have the air forces. He's playing after the silent, so there is less chance that he will have the air forces. So this will leave him at strength around like 60, because if you build another army it's just plus 24, so he will be strength 55. So if I can fulfill 2 classic armies with air force setup and have strength around 80 or less, a little bit less than 80, I still should be able to just take like 25 culture from Wawrzyniec, so getting like 50 in total, maybe a little bit less. Yeah, it depends. Yeah, so the plan is still go for war against Wawrzyniec. Okay, so Veivi took the international agreement just for 1 card, but he probably didn't have anything to cede with not drawing that much cards. And he built another opera, increasing his culture production, but he has just 2 military action, and that's still not enough. There is like the last military theory which he can grab, because the second one is already developed by Wawrzyniec, so this card will be very important for him. And yeah, in this turn I again seeded. This time I'm seeded the impact of competition, yeah, because I know that now I will go for the army. Yeah, Wawrzyniec will go for the army as well, but still I should be able to get some nice culture boost also from this impact, and I will prepare my war turn. So I'm increasing population many times, then I will build second drama, and I think I took rocks. Yeah, I took rocks from the reserves to be able to go for 2 classic armies, and finally here I revealed my tactic. Yeah, the tactic is not needed anymore by Wawrzyniec. No one else can use that tactic, so there was like no place of not revealing it. And also this way I will be the strongest, so maybe if one of my opponents will not go for strength, then I can use the armored interventions, and the war plan still will not be my play, because one thing which is not nice is that by going for these 2 classic armies with the plan of going for 2 air forces next turn, this will leave me at the end of the next round with just 1 rock, plus 12 is 13, so I will not be able to finish the United Nations if there will be just 2 more rounds. And even when I again took just 1 card from the depletion era, they may not be 2 turns, and then I will not be able to get this wonder. And with this wonder, I think, yeah, I will definitely win, because I will just declare a war on someone, take 20 culture from him, then finish this wonder for another plus 30 culture, plus 16 culture plus something, because I will be the best in science. And there are like no yellows which can give me the missing 4 rocks. Yeah, maybe there can be the armored intervention, or international negotiations was already revealed, so economic progress is missing wealthy territory, but yeah, I don't expect wealthy territory. I even don't expect economic progress that much. And arm industry was also played, yeah, so there is probably no extra rocks for me. So next round I will have the decision if I will go just for 1 air forces and a war, or if I will just go for no air forces and just armored interventions and finish my wonder, because or I can be very lucky and draw some plunder or something which will allow me to have enough rocks in the last round to also finish the wonder. So let's see what silent will do. Yeah, so I do another war, so no plunder or raid for me. Yeah, So this setup really looks that Silent has the modern army, or he's just pretending that he has it. Yeah, we still don't know. He's still on poor tactic, but prepared for everything. Yeah, what we have to have in our minds is also that there are like just 3 defense cards left for my opponents because I drew 4 of them. So yeah, he can probably defend now, but yeah, I don't trust my opponents that much that they have enough defense cards. Yeah, and so Wawrzyniec seeded and revealed the impact of culture, which even by bigger chunk worse my situation against him. He also get the Marland Dietrich, which will save him some resources, and he rebuild his knights for cannons so he can more easily has 2 armies next round. And he took 2 cards, so there is just like 9 cards. And yeah, Veivi give me a pact, so I will not attack on him, and my attack against Wawrzyniec will be stronger by me. And then he built second army of cavalrymen, and grab 2 cards. So with this play there is just 6 cards remaining. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 will be removed automatically at end of my turn, Silence and Wawrzyniec's turn. If I will go for a war against Wawrzyniec, he will need to use, I think, 5 CAs to just somehow upgrade his defense, and he will have just 1 civil actions left for taking a 1 card, so I can say for sure that Wawrzyniec can take like 2 cards. If I will not take any, I will just take 1 card, but then Silent probably will be able to just like take 2 cards and NDH, and I will not be able to catch him with this wonder. And as you can see, he's prepared for exactly 16 rocks next round to be able to finish the wonder. So it was now pretty obvious that I have the option to go for a war or for a wonder. And yeah, I can still see the impact of science in my next round, so the loss is just like 16 points from the wonder. And if I know that I will win the war for something like 20, and that means closing the gap between me and Wawrzyniec by 50, it's easy decision what I will do. Yeah, so I declare the war, and I was also thinking if I should go for a Fleming to has like extra culture next round, but I was also afraid of impact of happiness, which I'm not well prepared for, and very often in 4-player games this impact is seeded. So taking the Steve Jobs will also give me something like plus 12 culture from developing the technologies, because I will go for Air Forces this round. This will leave me 11 plus 6, 17 the next round, and then I can go for modern infantry and prof sports, or maybe even, yeah, I can not develop 2 technologies but go for democracy to have some nicer impacts as well, and lose just 1 because of that, because yeah, I will get plus 3 for my last turn from democracy. So yeah, then I decided to take a Steve Jobs. I will also take the Steve Jobs away from Silent, whose plan maybe was to just take the Steve Jobs and then produce plenty of science, and also has some nice culture boost in his last turn. Yeah, so I just went for Steve Jobs, develop Air Forces, increase population twice, build 2 Air Forces, go to strength 76, and grab 2 yellow cards to have like more options. Now I may not go for government and just maybe increase my culture production with movies, or I can build prof sports and has more happy faces, or I can take democracy. Yeah, let's see what I will do in the last round. Yeah, so silent, seeded as well. Impact of industry is revealed. That is not that great for us, but not bad. This impact is very often normal. He can go for democracy, build another tanks, and reveal the tactic. But with this play, he will not have enough rocks to finish his space flight. So this is weird. But he has now 60 strength. Veivi has just like 2 military actions. And yeah, he has the military theory. He can go for that. But he will have just like 1 card. Maybe Silent also drew some defense cards. And he was thinking that, okay, maybe I can get the missing rocks from Veivi. So yeah, I was expecting that I have to plan my last turn very well to just think about all the consequences. Yeah, and Wawrzyniec just use his actions to improve his military. Yeah, he opted to just go not for an extra army, but he improved all his units to rockets, and then he was able to grab the fast food. You can see like taking fast food in the last turn when he will have just like 4 rocks plus 4 rocks from reserves, that's 8, and to be able to finish it, he will need extra 8 rocks, and the only way how he can get the extra 8 rocks is with raid against Veivi, because Veivi has 2 operas. So I was thinking, okay, so maybe Wawrzyniec has raid, maybe Silent has raid or plunder. Plunder is also sufficient for him. So I was really hoping that Veivi in his last turn will somehow increase his defense, don't look at culture from Empire State Building and just like, I don't know, develop military theory to go to 51, and then, I don't know, build another air forces for 5, that's 56, plus knights 58, so he will be able to defend all the aggressions. But Veivi did something different. Veivi goes for military theory, which I was interested in, because I think if he goes for computers and upgrades the philosophy to computers, it will increase his culture production by 1, because Maria Curie Skłodowska is giving now just 2 for coal, and she will start giving 3 for computers, so he will win the culture bonus. Also, by going for the computers, he will get +4 science production, so he will be on 8, so he will win science, culture, and then maybe he can also like go for one more farm to just be able to fulfill Empire State Building for 3 categories. So I was really curious why he played the military theory, and I was thinking, okay, so maybe there is impact of progress or impact of government or something, so he counted that this play will be better for him. And then he goes for another opera, so he improved his culture production with opera play, not with the computers play, and he was able to win just 2 categories. But with just 1 defense card, like, he's not able to defend aggressions from the other 2 players. So this, my last turn, really took me like 2 hours when I was like calculating all the possible scenarios and all the impacts. I know that I already seeded impact of balance and impact of competition. I have also knowledge about the impact of science. Some of the impacts were already revealed. I think it was the industry and culture. So I was like able to see which impacts are good for me, which are bad for me. And there was one possible play, and it was like seeding the impact of science and then going for something like 2 movies or democracy plus two dramas, which, with counting of all the impacts which I know, will leave me with something like +1 culture lead against my opponents, with another 4 impacts not revealed. If I counted it with the worst case scenario that Silent will plunder the Veivi for missing rocks and Wawrzyniec will raid his 2 operas and also finish the fast food. If they will not finish their wonders, they can improve some impacts, but not by the amount. I think both of them are now set up to get +20 from their wonders. So I was counting many scenarios, and at the end, very counterintuitively, I decided not to seeding impact of science, even when it means that I will beat Silent for sure, even if he finishes the space flight, but went for aggression against Wawrzyniec. He still has possibility to defend with 3 defense card, but I knew that I drew 4 of them, so the chances for him to defend, I also like counted how many H3 cards were there, how many he seeded, etc. So the chances for him to defend were, I think, 5%. So I decided to play Armored Intervention against him, which went through, and that means that now I can go for a democracy and 2 dramas and grabbing also all the blue cards from a deck. And with this play, I think that was completely sure that I will have more points than Wawrzyniec, and Silent has like small chance that if there will be like exactly some impacts which he will need, then he will win. Yeah, I was feeling also by Veivi's play in the last round when he built another selective breeding that impact of agriculture is there. Silent is not well prepared for the impact of agriculture, but if he will plunder Veivi, he will have 18 rocks, he will use 16 for his wonder, and then he will increase pop and for sure build a farm, so he will be prepared for impact of agriculture as well as us. And I was afraid about impact of technology, because Silent then will have like 1 more technology than me, so he will get extra 4 culture for that. But I was hoping that because some of these impacts were also seeded by Wawrzyniec, that not all of them will be the exact one which Silent will need, and I will win by a very small margin. So let's see if Silent has the plunder or not. And Silent has a raid, which is quite of unfortunate, because if I went for the play with scientific impact, then I should like celebrate now, because I will get +15 on Silent for the impact of science, and there will be like no way how he will catch up. And now Wawrzyniec cannot get the missing 8 rocks from Veivi, because he doesn't have the operas anymore. If Wawrzyniec has plunder, he will just have like 15 rocks, which is not enough. So this scenario I didn't even have in my mind, that Silent will have raid as well, and because Wawrzyniec is playing after him, then that's another thing which can happen. So Silent develop technology, then go for space flight. And will he build the farm to improve? Yeah, he will build. So that's unfortunate. Yeah, and Wawrzyniec cannot now finish his foot wonder, so he will just go for another aggression. Yeah, I asked Wawrzyniec after the game if he really had the raid in hand, and he said yes, I had the raid. So if Silent will not go for a raid, then Wawrzyniec would be also able to finish his wonder, which is very nice because it just shows how Wawrzyniec is able to like squeeze the water from a stone. You see, I declared war on him in the last turn, and he just find a way how to play the game that way that he was able to take the wonder and keep himself with an option of getting exactly 16 rocks in his last round. And yeah, now let's go to see the packs, and this is unfortunate. I can go there. Yeah. So the first is Impact of Happiness. So I'm really glad that I didn't go for like 2 technologies, but went for Democracy, which gave me like one less culture because of Steve Jobs, but it gives me possibility to have like more happy faces. And yeah, I still need to not see the impact of technology. Maybe, yeah. Sorry for this unfortunate. Now my computer is frozen, so let's see if I will restart this game or I will be able to finish it. Yeah, no luck. Yeah, this one is working. Okay, here we are. So then there is like the impact of agriculture. So the read of this is probably seeded by Veivi. So the read from the Silent was great. And I'm still not able to so that's weird. The only way how I can show you the impact is this way, but it will be funny. So then there is the impact of government, and that's very good for me because that means that I have like one of the worst impact which should be there isn't there, the impact of tech, and I should be able to win now. So let's see, another impact. No, yeah, sorry for this inconvenience. So I have to press play, then wait a little bit, then probably stop it and look on a different. Yeah, then there is like impact of competition, which is for me the same as for the Silent. So I'm just like missing the 6th one, but I still know that there is like impact of balance, which will be plus 10 for me. So it should be fine. Let's see, another reveal, another stop, another click. No, nothing. Yeah, it's very inconvenient that you cannot stop. I don't know what to do. So I will wait a little bit more. I maybe will need to. Okay, now here is the impact of balance, which is like plus 10 for me. So now I'm leading by 4 points. And still, if there will be like the impact of technology, I will be tied with Silent. But if there will be different impact, I should be able to win the game. So a little bit of wait, and let's see what is the last impact. Still nothing. A little bit of more waiting. So will it be impact of technology or not? we will not know. We will not know. And the last impact is impact of population, which will help Wawrzyniec to get the 3rd place, but that will also mean that I will be the winner of this game, and by getting 6 points in this last game I'm also able to win international championship, which was my goal pretty much from the first season when I played, and it was ages ago, like 4 or maybe 5 years ago. So I'm really happy that I was able to win international championship. And because I'm doing interview with the winner, now the question is how to make an interview with myself. So if you have any tips for this, just let me know, and thank you for your time, and see you again.